Okay, chapter 2, 3, 4, test review. Now, the first thing you need to know that's going to be on the test is to find the equation of the line given information. There's going to be 8 matching problems for this. There's going to be 8 matching problems for this. In other words, I will give you a point, a slope, and B, 2 points, and you have to find the equation of the line given that information. Now, what I suggest you do, you are going to have 2 columns. The first column is going to be the information that I'm going to give you. The second column is going to basically be the equations. Some of the equations in column B will not be solved for y. What are all your equations whenever you find the equation of the line going to be in? mx plus b, right? So the first thing I would do if I were you is I'd take all of column B and do what? Solve for y. Because if you take all of column B and solve it for y, then you'll have all of the answers that you possibly need, correct? So does everybody know that tidbit right there? Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, no work, no credit on the matching. If you see an easy one, such as the points are the same, the x values are the same, then that's going to be x equals a number. If you see the point values are the same on the y, then that's going to be y equals a number. Circle them. Show me that they're the same. Does that make sense? Okay? Next, number 2, you're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form and graph by finding the slope and the y-intercept. You're going to have one of those problems. What does that mean whenever you do that? It means take the equation that I gave you and solve it for what? For y. Then find the slope, find the y-intercept, plot the y-intercept, use rise over run, and graph another point. Do we understand that? You'll have one of those problems. Number 3, find the x and y-intercepts of the equation and then graph using these points. Be sure to write them as points. You'll have one of these problems. Now, what do I mean by this? This means that it's given you an equation. All you have to do is, if you're finding the x-intercept, drop y, solve for x. If you're finding the y-intercept, drop x, solve for y. Yes? Okay. Number 4 is find parallel and perpendicular line given a point and equation. You're going to have 2 problems of each. In other words, you're going to have 2 parallel problems and then what? 2 perpendicular problems. Okay? Parallel slopes have the same slope. Perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. Do we all understand that? And the last one is going to be an application problem. You're going to only have one of those. Whenever I say application problem, I mean find the equation of the line, interpret the slope, and interpret the y-intercept. Do we all understand that? That's the test, and when is the test? Tomorrow, okay? All right, now with that said, let's go ahead and start this. So first and foremost, problem number 1, it says find the equation of the given line given this information. Find the equation given the point 0, 8 and negative 2, 5. So step 1, what do we do? Find the slope. I told you all to get your calculators out, so I'm going to have 5 minus 8 over negative 2 minus 0. What is 5 minus 8? Negative 3 over negative 2 minus 0 gives me a negative 2, so what is my slope? Positive 3 over 2 is my slope. Okay, so now, after I find my slope, what do I need to find? Your y-intercept. Well, tell me this. What is the form of the y-intercept? 0b, right? Look at your ordered pairs. Do I have a y-intercept already? I do. My y-intercept is given. I don't need to find it because my y-intercept is the point 0b, which happens to be 0, 8. So that means 8 is equal to b. So what's my equation that I'm looking for? Y equals 3 over 2x plus 8. It's very important that you know the information that they've given you. If you don't recognize the fact that that ordered pair 0, 8 is your b value, then you're going to spend a lot of time finding 8 whenever you already know it. I'm giving you both formulas on the test along with the slope formula. You may use any formula you want. Okay? Do we all understand the first example? Next example. My goal is to find the equation of the line. I give you 2 points. In the first example that I gave you, there was nothing the same in any of those points, was there? However, I did give you a very, very nice point in the very first problem, didn't I? Now look at the second two ordered pairs. Can you tell me, does anything look similar in the second two ordered pairs? Not the y-intercept, but what? The y values in each one of these equations are both what? 8. So you tell me, do I have to do any work here? No, what's the equation of the line? Y equals 8. I'm done. No work required. If you're working smarter rather than harder here, you should recognize that. Now what about this last one? Is there anything the same there? No. Do I have a nice little point of the y-intercept? No. So I'm forcing you to find b, aren't I? So what's the first thing you have to do? Find the slope. So my slope is going to be 1 minus 7 over negative 3 minus 5. 1 minus 7 is negative 6. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. What is negative 6 over negative 8 reduced down to? Positive 3 over 4. That's your slope. Now, pick a point. Which point do you want to use? The first point? So for using the first point, I'm going to have y equals mx plus b. Y is 7, m is 3/4, x is going to be 5. Everybody paying attention and working along with me? So now put that 5 over 1, and I have 7 is equal to 15 over 4 plus b. Now, I put the 5 over 1, I married the tops, I married the bottoms. Now, what do you not like about this problem? The fraction. So how do I get rid of the fraction? Multiply by its least common denominator of 4. So make sure you do that to every term. 28 is equal to, what happens here? 15 plus, what do we do here? 4b. Do not forget to do that. So now what? Subtract 15, and I'm going to get 13 is equal to 4b. Divide by 4. 13 over 4 is equal to b. So now what's my equation of my line? Y equals 3 over 4x plus 13 over 4. Okay, on your matching tomorrow, again, column B, what should you do first? Solve for b. Help yourselves out. Once you find the slope, should you be able to match quickly? Do we understand that? Are there going to be times where you don't have to find b because you're going to be able to match by using process of elimination? So work smarter, not harder tomorrow on the test. On the matching, if you don't have to find the letter B because you automatically found the slope, then you're good to go, right? Okay, number 2, write the equation in slope-intercept form and graph using slope and y-intercept. Okay, what do I do here? Solve for y. That's the most important thing I can tell you. Solve for y. So what do I do here? So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And I'm going to get negative 4y is equal to negative 3x plus 24. Then what? Divide each term by negative 4. So I have y is equal to positive 3/4 x minus 6. So now it says state the slope and the y-intercept. What is the slope? What does that mean graphically? Rise 3, run to the right 4. What's my y-intercept? So now, after I found my slope, I need to find my y-intercept. What's my y-intercept? 0, negative 6. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to graph this. And I'm going to graph using the point what first? What do I graph first? 0, negative 6 is what I graph first. And from there, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 units, and then to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could I do that again? Yes, I'm going to be off my graph here. But that's how you're going to graph it. And then you're done. Do we understand that, yes or no? Easy? One problem like that tomorrow. The next one is going to be graph finding the x and y intercepts. So 2x minus 3y is equal to 18. How do I find my x-intercepts? To find my x-intercept, I drop what letter? I'm going to drop y, so I have 2x is equal to 18. Did you guys sign in? Okay, divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 9. So what's the ordered pair you're going to graph? 9, 0 is the ordered pair we're going to graph. So now I need to find my y-intercept. So how do I find my y-intercept? Drop the x, so what's my equation going to be? Negative 3y is equal to 18, so y is equal to negative 6. So what's that ordered pair going to be? 0, negative 6. So I'm going to plot that. So I'm going to plot 9, 0, and I'm going to plot 0, negative 6. Bam. Do we understand that, yes or no? Easy? What if it's not a whole number? What if it's a fraction? Like 5 over 2. What if the x-intercept is 5 over 2? What's 5 divided by 2? Type in your calculator. You get a decimal being 2.5, right? So you're going to graph 2.5, comma 0. So you may have to eyeball things. Okay, do we all understand this? Okay, the next thing is parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay? This is where many of you guys screw up on this, okay? So now, I give you the equation 2x minus y is equal to 15. What do you need to do? You have to solve that for y first. You have to, okay? So if I solve this thing for y, I'm going to subtract 2x, and I have negative y is equal to negative 2x plus 15. Then what? So that's going to give me y is equal to, what do I need out of there? I need the slope. So what is my slope? What is my slope? Just 2. My slope is 2. Okay? So now, what is my parallel slope? 2. And I'm going to use the point 2, 4. So let's first find my parallel line. Okay? We're going to do both of them here. So if I want to find my parallel line, I'm going to do y is equal to mx plus b. And 4 is equal to 2 times 2 plus b. So 4 is equal to 4 plus b. So subtract the 4. That gives me 0 is equal to b. So what is my parallel line? Y equals 2x. Now, what's my perpendicular slope? I'm sorry? Negative 1/2. And I'm still going to use the point 2, 4. So I have y is equal to mx plus b. Y is 4. M is negative 1/2. X is 2. Now, what is half of 2? So in this case, it's going to be negative 1. Add the 1. And I have 5 is equal to b. So if I have 5 is equal to b, what is my perpendicular line? Negative 1/2 x plus 5. Do we get that? What? What do you not get? You can't say, I don't know. We've been doing this for like a week. So you got to give me more than that. Do you understand the parallel, which is in the green? Parallel slope is the same slope as this. Parallel slope was the same slope as the 2. The blue, I then went ahead and did the perpendicular line. So the slope over here is 2, so I found the perpendicular slope, which was negative 1/2. That's it. You with me? Okay, that's parallel and perpendicular. Now, there's one other thing. What happens when you're given points? You have to find the slope. Look at your points, though. Examine your points. What do you notice about your points? X is the same. X is negative 2. If x is -2, what type of a line is that, folks? What type of a line is x equals -2? A vertical line. What is parallel to a vertical line? Remember, parallel means the same. So if it's the same as x equals -2, what's the equation going to be over here? X equals what? 4. Has to be 4 because I'm going through that point. Okay? You have to go through the point. Okay? So now, what's perpendicular to a vertical line? Perpendicular means opposite. So opposite of vertical is horizontal. Opposite of x is. So y has to equal what here? -5. I guarantee tomorrow you're going to have a problem like this on the parallel and perpendicular. I have covered it and covered it and covered it with you, haven't I? Parallel means the same, so it's the same letter. Perpendicular means opposite, so it's the opposite letter, right? Do we all understand that? Covered it and covered it and covered it with you. Yep, that's all you got to do. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns on parallel and perpendicular? All right, and the last thing I'm going to cover is application. We've gone over application several times. I've spent a lot of time on it, and this is the last one I'm going to talk about. Joey has asked to share how many hours he studied for a test and what his score was. On the first test, he studied 0.75 hours. How many minutes is that if it's 3/4 of an hour? 45 minutes, right? And achieved a 77%. On his next test, Joey studied 2 hours and achieved a score of 89%. So you tell me, what are my subjects? It's the first thing we talk about when we do story problems, right? Hours and what? Score or percentage. So we have score and we have hours. Which one's X and which one's Y? Hours is X, Y is your score, okay? So what's my first ordered pair that I'm going to have out of here? 0.75, 77%, and then what's my second one? No, because percentage is our score, okay? So you don't have to convert your percentage into an actual decimal. You can leave it as its score, okay? Okay, so now I need to find the equation of the line. Because you have to use exactly the same unit, right, which is hours rather than minutes. Okay, if you wanted to use minutes, you could put them both to be, 45 and then 120, but it would be a lot bigger numbers. Okay? All right, now, so the next thing we're going to do is what? Find our slope. So our slope is going to be 89 minus 77 over 2 minus 0.75. So if you type that in the calculator, what do you guys get? Type the whole thing in the calculator. You do not have to make this a big issue about it. Just go ahead, and when you do this, you can literally go Control Division key, and I would type in 89 minus 77, arrow down, 2 minus 0.75. And what do you get? Because it said 0.75 hours. Okay. So my slope is going to be 9.6. So now I found my M. So now what do I need to do to find my B? Plug it in, right? So I'm going to use which point? I'm probably going to use this one to avoid what? Decimals as much as you can, right? So I'm going to have y is equal to mx plus b. Y is going to be 89. M is 9.6. X is 2 plus b. So in your calculator, what's 9.6 and 9.6 times 2? Very good. Now, I'm going to take off 19.2 off of 89. And what does that give you? 9.6 times 2. Okay? So this gives you B. So now what's my equation? Y is equal to? Okay, that's the equation. Now that's important information. Now how do I interpret my slope? We should all be paying attention on this. How do I interpret my slope? Remember, slope is going to be the change in the y values over the change in the x. So that's the change in, what's y represent here? No, the score. And what does x represent? Over the change in the hours. So that's going to give me 9.6 over 1. What does that mean? Every hour he studies, his score increases by how many points? 9.6. So every hour studied, the score increases by 9.6 points. Okay, what's your y-intercept interpretation? The y-intercept is going to be the ordered pair 0b, which is going to be 0, comma, what? Very good. And that's going to be what? What's x and what's y here again? X is hours studied and y is the score, right? So this is going to be hours, comma, score. So what does that mean? What's that? If he does not study at all, his score, what is with my spelling this morning? Will be 69.8%. Do we all understand that? That's the test tomorrow. That is the test tomorrow. Okay? I had about a 20-minute review for you. You know what's going to be on the test. Now what can you do for the rest of the period? You can finish your Math Excel assignment and anything else that you owe me. Okay?